Oh, I have to play this, right? Are you giving me chances? Are you thinking hard or hardly thinking? Oh really? Oh really? Clock's counting down. Bite. Bring this back. Playing like you have something. I don't think you do. Try. F5. F5. Thanks for the queen. Is that a Botez gambit? Alright, now how do I win here? What do I do? Check. Somebody's out driving our McLaren for a joyride. Did you give him the keys? Check. You think this one's over? A little louder for the camera. I don't know what the best way to do this is. Here? Maybe? Yeah, you're gonna try that, okay. Alright. Okay. your game.
Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us again. So this game was a great game between Justin and Tyler, and it came out of this sort of almost French setup against almost the King's Indian attack. You'll notice that White's attack appears to want to happen on the King's side. Black's pieces are a little bit fenced in, if you will, by White's development, and White is hoping that an early King side attack will seal the game in its favor. To that end, we reach this position at move 8, where Justin plays bishop g5 to pin the knight to the queen, and I castle King side. Justin then plays a very committal move, g4, wanting to displace the bishop on h5. I retreat to g6. And here, Justin plays another committal attacking move. He plays h4. And Stockfish says this is not the best idea. Stockfish gives this as negative 1.8 in Black's favor. Was there a better move here for White? Yes, there was. In this position, everything is still very even. But Black's light square bishop is kind of in trouble. So Stockfish suggests for White to play knight to h4. And you'll notice that in this position, the light square bishop cannot move anywhere along the diagonal it now occupies, because it falls to attacks from the pawn, attacks from the bishop, attacks from this pawn, and attacks from the queen anywhere that it lands. So you have to defend this with knight back. Knight to e7. And here, this gives me, if I'm playing White, this gives me the idea that what if I capture the knight on f6 with the bishop, and my opponent recaptures with the g-pawn. This puts a hole in Black's defensive structure around his king, which might prove useful later in the game. And this is accomplished because the knight came back to the e7 square, blocking the queen's defense of the knight on f6. However, Stockfish says that's a fine line. It says that you still keep things very close to even, but Stockfish prefers knight takes g6, knight takes, and then e4 to press the attack. D captures to avoid the fork. Knight captures. And here, the position is dead even, and in this position, what White is hoping to do is to take advantage of the pin from the knight against the queen, made possible by the dark square bishop on g5. It's also hoping to, for example, if the knight captures on f6, the light square bishop will come alive and attack the rook and the pawn on the long diagonal. And if Black recaptures with the pawn to both attack the bishop and to capture the knight that would be on f6, you still get the hole in Black's king side security, the same as you would have before if you had captured with the bishop and the pawn had retaken. Also in this position, you might want to play c4 just to kind of gain some central coverage with pawns, and also to dislodge the bishop on the d6 square. And again, Stockfish says this is very even. It's nobody's advantage yet. Slight advantage for Black, but you'd be hard pressed to make it into something at this stage of the game. However, at this moment, following h4, I decided to play h6 and take the attack to Justin's bishop instead. And here, Justin should probably try to save the bishop somehow. Moving the bishop back to, let's say, the e3 square, the d2 square, even the c1 square, and call it a day. However, Stockfish likes instead to simply push for your own attack and play h5. Notice that h5 does not really improve the evaluation, but the line that Stockfish suggests ends up like this. Bishop retreats, bishop retreats, bishop to e7 to attack the to x-ray the dark square bishop on h4. Bishop captures on f6, bishop recaptures, and still in this position, black is looking significantly better than white at -1.5. And here you have all sorts of ideas. You can try for a pawn push in the middle on e5 to attack the pawn on d4. Your light square bishop is eyeing the c2 pawn. You can support that push with the knight coming to b4, and have grand ideas of attacking this rook in some way, or directly attacking the queen. The bishop also hits the pawn on d4, and so white's center seems like it's falling apart in this position, and that seems to be what Stockfish is indicating in the evaluation. Those were the two real critical positions of the game, and from this point on, it never got any better for Justin. He played queen to d2 to reinforce the bishop, but in reality, one of those other moves would have been a better choice. And here, the game is completely winning for black. -6.9, and like I said, it never gets any better. Here I just capture the bishop and go on to win the game. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this latest video. Please be sure to leave your comments below about moves that you saw that would have been better than what either of the players played. And be sure to like and subscribe as well. Thank you. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.